Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm really excited for today's video because I asked my book marketing client group for their Instagram accounts so that I can give them a free audit today. So if you are looking for tips on how to improve your own author Instagram page, stay tuned because I'm going to be giving you some specific recommendations and tips to improve your page. So clients who have taken my courses and my guides already have some tips on how to improve their profile just from taking my courses, but they also submitted their Instagram pages for a free audit. So I'm going to just walk through some of them, not all today, and offer some recommendations. And even if your Instagram is not included in this, you are still going to walk away with tips on how to improve your own pages. So as you're listening, be sure to think about how you can apply it to your own Instagram account as well, so that you can find your readers better on Instagram, attract your readers to your Instagram page, and of course, sell more books through social media, which is what I'm here to teach you about. Let's dive into the first author who shared their Instagram page. Sue Mel writes, "So Sue, I love that you have your personality shining through in your bio. Modern love meets Storage Wars with a little David Attenborough thrown in." So that's really clever. The one thing I'll say about this is if people aren't familiar with some of these people or shows, they might not really understand what you write about. And yes, you want to be narrowing in to people that are interested in the same things as you, but this niche down, it can be a little bit confusing for people who just aren't really familiar with these terms. So I love the personality, but you might consider just adding very clearly also what your genre is in your bio while still keeping that personality in there. The other thing you can consider doing is adding keywords to your Instagram name as well. So here you have Sue Mel, but you can also go to edit profile, and in that name section, you'll see that there's an opportunity to add a lot more characters there. You don't need to use all of the characters that space allows, but you do want to add some keywords because those are actually searchable. So thinking through your genre and what your readers might be searching for, and you can add that to your name. So for example, on my author profile, I write mental health poetry. So I have the keywords mental health. I have poetry in there. I think I have self-love too, because I know that those are terms that people are searching for who might be interested in my page. So consider adding those as well. The next thing I would say is that I love that you are making use of highlights on your page. So you have quite a few, and I would recommend just cleaning these up a little bit. I like to think of highlights as an extension of your bio. They're really a place to get people to know you better and also pitch your books to them. And so you have this one called Debut Novel that has photos of people reading your book, which is awesome. I would consider renaming this to something like Reader Love or Book Love or My Readers, so that people know what to expect when they click into this highlight. And then I would actually have a separate highlight about this book specifically with just a few slides so that people don't have to click through quite as much. And this highlight is going to have a photo of your book, a short hook or snippet about the book with a direct link to buy it. So that way people can get a quick sales pitch almost of the book and decide whether or not they want to go purchase it. And then from there, I would just clean these up a little bit, keep them a little bit more updated than they are right now. Anything older than a year or two old, either eliminate it or see if you can update it and make it more current to today. And then I also recommend having an About You highlight on your page that tells us a little bit more about you and your personality and the types of books you write. And that's a really great place to show your passion for the types of stories that you are publishing. And then the last thing that I wanted to share about your bio is that I love that you have a link added there for people to go find out more about you, find your books. I will say that I recommend keeping it to 5 to 7 links max. This is quite a few, and they're all in a row without really being separated clearly for people. It also seems that there are a couple who might be a little bit outdated as well. So the first one should be your top priority, where you want people to go first and foremost. So if that is your Substack, I love that you share that they get a free essay upon signing up for it. So that's great. I personally would have the buy links to your book next up if that is your top priority to sell the book. So do they need to go to a place about the book first and then buy it? Or can they just find out everything they need to know on this buy page? So I would make those the top priority first. And then potentially with all of these different links about different essays, can you instead combine this into one link that is a press page on your website or a publications page on your website where people can then go to that page and pick which place they'd like to go next. So that would help really to eliminate a lot of these links that are here on your link tree. Well done. Thank you for submitting your work to an audit, and I hope that this was helpful. Let's dive to the next person, Darlene, who is a romance author. I absolutely love your page. I have a couple recommendations, but I think you're doing a great job. And I know that you've gone through a couple of my courses before, and I can tell that your bio is perfectly optimized to what you've learned in the courses and guides. So I love that. You have your keywords here. You have a mission statement that speaks to your reader in the first line of your bio, and then a clear call to action, which is perfect. And you also have yourself in the profile picture. So all of that is so great. My biggest tip for you is providing context when it comes to your posts. So let's just take a look at a couple of your posts. We have this one, surprise, here are the top tropes for book 3 of the Rainer series. And then you list out tropes and ask, see anything you like, which I love. I love that you are asking your readers and your followers to leave a comment and kind of engage them in your book. If we look at another example, your first line is a question, also a great strategy to get people engaged and curious about what the post is about. And then it says, I made some for Cole's book and never used them, so we're going to start with Daniel. So my main tip for you is providing context. And what I mean by that is, if someone is coming to your page for the first time, they're interested in, oh, Darlene is a romance author, I want to learn more about what these books are about. Yes, we can get some glimpses of what the book is about from these posts, but I don't know who Cole is. I don't know who Daniel is. I don't know what the Rainer series is all about, besides these few tropes that you've shared here. So in your posts, yes, some people are going to already know you and engage with you and already have read these books, which is awesome. But there's also going to be new people who we should be providing context to. So if you can explain, instead of saying, here are the top tropes for book 3 of the Rainer series, add a little bit more onto that. Of the Rainer series, my 3-book trilogy about this, this, and this. That might not be accurate if it's a trilogy, but that's just one example of how you would add more context. I made some for Cole's book and never used them, so we're going to start with Daniel, who is the main character that does this, this, and this in my romance book called This. So you're adding context in the caption to make sure that anyone who is interested in your book knows exactly what book you're talking about. And bonus points, additionally, if you add, this book is available on Amazon in the caption as well, so anyone who reads this post knows exactly where to go, what the book's called, etc., to go buy your book. So that's my main piece of feedback for you, Darlene. Thank you for submitting this page to an audit. It is looking awesome. Okay, next we have D.H. Gibbs, who submitted their page. Right off the bat, one of my recommendations for you is to change your profile picture to a photo of you. When we see a book cover or a product as a profile picture, it can automatically seem a little bit less personal, a little bit more promotional, and not as engaging and personal of a vibe when someone comes to your page. This picture shows up no matter what you do on Instagram. Whenever you post something, if you comment on someone else's page, and a friendly face is going to be more likely to attract other people who are looking for fun people to follow versus something like a graphic or a logo or a book cover. So I always recommend, if you're comfortable with it, to do a profile picture. And as authors, we often have to do, speaking engagements and get in front of people. So I highly recommend using a photo of you and starting to get over that fear. Not saying that you necessarily have that fear, but for anyone listening who is unsure about showing your face, I do recommend that you try to take small steps to overcoming that. So diving into your highlights, I love that you have a few highlights already set up. If I click through them, I know that they haven't been updated super recently, so I would consider updating these. And these are great places to really showcase what the books are about and then also link directly to them. So it says now available on Amazon, but even better, it would be great if I could just click directly here to your book. And so you can do that. Anyone with any amount of followers on Instagram can add a link sticker to your stories and your highlights. So be sure to add links directly to where people can go to buy your book to increase those clicks to your Amazon page or to your website. And then you also, of course, want to add some context about what the book is about in these slides. So for your romance books, I can see the titles of them, the covers, but I'm not actually getting any information in your highlights about what they're about and where people can go to buy them. So that would be my biggest suggestion for you here, is taking full advantage of this space on your Instagram bio and making sure it's easy for your readers to find your books. I love that you're making use of reels and trends and static images, sharing book reviews. So all of that is wonderful. Just a couple additional tips for you. One, this is something that I see often, and I don't think yours are bad at all, but I did just want to offer this as a tip for anyone listening. Whenever you do go to post a reel from your Instagram app, you can choose the exact square that shows up on your profile. It's a little button called Crop Profile Image, and you can make sure that your text is centered in the middle, or even that text is showing up if there's, a headline or a hook in your reel. You want to make sure that that's what shows up on your feed so that people are more likely to know what it's about, know the context, and click into your reel. So I think you're doing a great job with that, but I wanted to flag that for anyone listening. Perhaps, this could be a little bit more centered in the middle or something like that. But let's just click into a couple of these. So in this one, for example, we can see your book covers, but a little bit more context in the caption, where people are going to be going after they see your post. Their eyes are going to go down to the caption to see if there's something there that is going to capture their attention a little bit more. So that's something to consider there. Here you have, used the caption a little bit more, which is great. You're asking a question in this post, which is great. I also wanted to flag your hashtags as well, because hashtags, although they're not as important as they once were, utilizing 3 to 5 specific hashtags can help people find your work a little bit more. So these are very general right now. We have books of Instagram, readers of Instagram, and so these are going to be flooded with posts. Just going to click into one just to show you. Let's click on book lovers as an example of how many posts there are in this hashtag. So 6.9 million, right? That's a lot of posts. That's a lot of people adding to this hashtag every single day. And while I do recommend using a mix of lesser popular hashtags and some more popular hashtags so you can really get your posts seen, things like hashtag book lovers are going to be very generic and not the readers that you are looking for. So use specific hashtags related to your specific genre, whether that is hashtag YA fantasy books or fantasy readers of Instagram, things like that. Do some research on what other readers in your genre are using so you can get a sense of what they might be searching for as well. Okay, the next one is going to be Christina Vorkos. Thank you for submitting your Instagram for me to quickly audit. I think you're doing a great job. I know you've gone through my courses and guides and we've talked about your bio before. It is looking awesome. I love that you have your heritage, things that are really important to you in there, as well as multiple different tropes and your genre in there as well. You have a clear call to action. You have a photo of you as your profile picture. So all of that is wonderful, as well as your keywords in your name. So all A+ there. And you also have some highlights set up, which is wonderful. You're making use of the pinned posts at the top, which are telling us a little bit about you and your writing. So all of that is wonderful. My top tip for you is similar to the advice that I gave to Darlene about providing context. I think that overall, the messaging could be a little bit stronger when you're talking about your books. So let's just look at a couple examples. This most recent post, I love the POV trend. So you did a great job of talking about what the book is about in the actual reel. And then in the caption, where this is an additional opportunity to really pitch the book and offer some additional messaging about what your book is about, you have some detail, Latinx, mystery, sci-fi, college romance. So that is great. I think that's a wonderful job. My suggestion would be a little bit more of an enticing caption opening line that further explains what the book is about and could hook people in a little bit more. But overall, I do love that you didn't just say the name of it. You did give some more information in the caption. For the next one, I love that you have taken an idea that you were using in your stories to get people to submit page numbers and made it into a reel. I think the caption, once again, could be a little bit more enticing as to what the book is going to be about. So it says, keep reading more poems and short stories with my book. I love that you've shared the name of it. You've shared where to get it. Can you give us a little bit more about what these poems and short stories are about, what the benefit is going to be to your reader? That way they are very clear if they like this poem, is this book actually going to be for me? So just always providing a little bit more of that context and information in your captions as much as you possibly can. Okay, next up we have AR Hadley. Thank you for submitting your Instagram as well. I really am enjoying your bio. Your smiling picture is great and very personal. And you have a clear call to action to join your newsletter, and you share that you're going to receive a free novella for signing up. So that is all wonderful. If there's any feedback that I have on your bio, it would be, again, to add those keywords that we talked about earlier in this video. Click Edit Profile, add some keywords to your name, such as your genre or tropes that people might be searching for when they're looking for new books to read on Instagram. That'll just help your profile show up a little bit sooner in search, potentially. So I love this post. I didn't realize until I was looking through everyone's and deciding who to audit that this was the post I had seen before where you talked about the course that you're taking with me. You're taking Boost Your Book Sales right now. So I was excited to see your profile optimized and that you are enjoying the course and owning the fact that you write amazing literary fiction. So I absolutely loved this post, and a couple of recommendations that I wanted to offer for you are to add highlights to your page. So add a highlight about you and who you are, what you write about, your passion for writing. That could be one highlight. You could also consider pinning a post about you. This might be a good post to pin, just that it shares your passion for literary fiction. You also might have another post that is a photo of you, talks about, why you write, how long you've been writing, some of the publications that you have out already, and that could be a pinned post as well. And then I would have a highlight for your books and what they're about. And lastly, for you, I would have a newsletter highlight that links directly to your newsletter, talks a little bit about the free novella that they're going to get upon signing up. And that should just help for any traffic that comes to your Instagram page. They're automatically seeing, okay, this is what this person is all about. This is what their newsletter is about. This is how to subscribe to it, since I am now interested in their novella. So those are my main tips for you so far, looking quickly through your page. If you are interested in having me review your Instagram from top to bottom, looking at your bio, reviewing the performance of your posts, the best way to do that is booking a VIP marketing day with me. This is either a half day or a full day of coaching with me, where I offer a full audit of your social media profiles, and then we have the rest of the day to chat via voice messages on Voxer about your book marketing strategy. These are one of my favorite ways to work with authors. And if you want a full step-by-step social media mastery course that a lot of these clients have taken to optimize their profiles and see more sales on social media, I'm going to link my Accelerate Your Author Instagram guide. This is my recommended starting point for anyone looking to improve their Instagram, because it'll walk you through everything you need to know to grow your author presence on Instagram. So those resources are going to be linked for you in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for new videos every single week to help you with your book marketing. Thank you, and have a great rest of your week. Bye.